Hey, what's going on people? It's SGZ here from the SpartanGameZone, and in this video we mark the midway point of the latest weapon class countdown series with the top 10 legendary sniper rifles in Borderlands 3. Sniper rifles are definitely the hardest class to come to grips with, but that also means they're the most rewarding, whether it's dealing damage with elemental blasts, an onslaught of bullets, or well placed rounds. These are the best snipers in the game, and I'll be letting you know what each one does, where you can get them, and how you can increase their damage. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, or you could even follow me on Twitter, and don't forget to let me know what your favourite sniper rifle is, and let's crack into it. We open this countdown of the top 10 legendary sniper rifles in Borderlands 3 with the Monocle, a traditional sniper rifle that drops from the demo Skaggans, who you fight around here in the droughts. The Monocle is the gun you want to pull out if you've just watched American Sniper, but not all of it, because spoilers, Colonel Sanders was not a real colonel. If you want to see your enemies in so great a detail that you can see what kind of makeup they're wearing, then this is the gun for you. Supporting a massive magnification that'll stop you from thinking maybe it's Maybelline, because you'll be able to tell. With the massive zoom comes increased critical damage, and a lot of it, 2.5 times more to be exact, which makes popping heads that much easier. It's a quick scoper's dream, or you can look at them a bit before you pull the trigger. I don't judge. You can use it to comfortably one-shot mobs and even do the same to bosses. Overall, it's a great weapon that brings sniping back to the basics and rewards you well for it. Next up is the Ionic Disruptor, a weapon belonging to the Director's Cut, with an increased chance to drop from Hemovorus the Invincible you fight in Darkthirst Dominion. The Ionic Disruptor is a gun that senses weakness. It doesn't bother with shields or even armor, it ignores them completely and cuts straight to the bone. It's a great effect that'll have all your enemies closer to death than they feel. The damage it deals is good, made even better through its unique effect, able to go right through and one-shot bosses. It also comes with a bayonet which increases melee damage by 80%. Anyone you stab with it will be shocked, literally, and also take double the damage. It's a great effect similar to the Rippers and allows you to 1-2 punch your targets first at point blank and then from a distance. As far as sniper rifles go, this one is definitely unique and will have you scoping in from close range. Moving on now to the Unseen Threat, a weapon that belongs to the Guns, Love and Tentacles DLC, with an increased chance to drop from a march you fight around here in Curse Haven. The Unknown Warning is a gun whose damage your enemies won't see coming until it's too late. It's your standard Jacob sniper rifle, but with an advanced ricochet effect. If the bullet didn't kill them, then what comes next will, as 3 homing projectiles spawn from the impact point and circle round for even more damage. You'll get the most damage from a dastardly prefix which boosts its critical damage, and I find a next to Mag's Anointment to add much needed elemental flavour, which helps especially while bossing. Speaking of bossing, this thing is capable of dishing out massive damage on Zane with a toboggan coupled with violent violence and violent momentum. Using it while mobbing, like most Jacob sniper rifles, can be a struggle due to the need to land those criticals, but if you can do that consistently, it's a great gun. Now for the Firestorm, a melee 1 sniper rifle that can only come in fire, how strange, and has an increased chance to drop from Katagawa Jr., who you fight around here in Atlas HQ. The Firestorm consumes 2 ammo per shot and after fully charging unleashes a barrage of flaming energy bolts. Each bolt explodes into a fiery nova which cover a wide area and trigger 3 flaming meteors to rise above the impact point before crashing back down in a fit of rage. Both damage sources deal splash damage and are capable of igniting the field in seconds. It's one of the most spectacular weapons in the game. It never gets old seeing magma pound the ground shortly after you've disintegrated an opponent. Although they do take a while to land, if anyone's within the target zone, they'll take a beating. If you want to have the best time, try equipping an Infernal Wish, and it's a sniper rifle that does more than just shoot bullets. Time now for the Layla. This one's made by Vladoff and can come in all the elements, including none. It has an increased chance to drop from Tremendous Rex at the end of the Cistern of Slaughter, but you can also get it once per character by defeating all of Zero's targets. The Layla was one of Borderlands 3's leading ladies when it first released, but was nerfed heavily before beginning the long climb back to the middle. On the way to where it is now, it's had its mag size majorly increased, its reload speed drastically reduced, and its damage boosted twice. Today it fires the same bullets which splinter after travelling a short while, culminating in a 3-pronged attack. Couple that with its fire rate and you have what sounds like an early day Gatling gun with the damage to go with it. The thing is, it handles like one too, wobbling around as that barrel spins up, requiring some control to keep it on target. You can even get an annexed variant which takes the total projectile count to 6, but that runs out of ammo even faster. It'll boss well on everyone, but I suggest leaving the mobbing to most. Time now for the Storm, another elemental sniper rifle brought to us by Maliwan. This one only shoots lightning and has an increased chance to drop from Red Jabber, who you fight around here in the Ambermar. The Storm is easily one of my favourite weapons in the game, and that all comes down to the weapon as a whole. Not only do large shockwaves trigger on enemy impact, but the after party kicks off as 4 sparkling orbs rise into the air before zapping nearby enemies with high voltage. Its single shot damage is great, especially on Moes, thanks to it dealing splash damage, and its secondary effect grants it not a little, but a lot extra, spawning every shot regardless of you missing or not. They provide it with added damage, albeit less than each bolt, but they keep you stacked. Amara can use them to heal through sustainment, and Flak and Zayton can increase their count to 8 or even 12 with an Infernal Wish. You can even use their trigger delay to pull out a Guardian and see them absolutely demolish big health bars. However you use it, there's something here for everyone, and it's just a great weapon all round. Time now for the Boogeyman, an alien barreled sniper rifle that belongs exclusively to Arms Race. It can be found anywhere there, but does have an increased chance to drop from this chest room. This Boogeyman isn't something you should be afraid of, but your enemies, firing a barrage of explosive elemental rounds with a high chance for each shot not to consume ammo. It also has a chance on kill to spawn the Ghost of Disco's Past, which will seek out enemies and lead them to the dance floor of death. As far as fully automatic sniper rifles go, this is one that will keep your ammo stocked for longer and dishes out good damage at the same time. You'll still run dry relatively quickly though, unless you're Moes, who definitely has the better of this gun. Next we have the Skullmasher, a non-elemental Jacob's powerhouse that has an increased chance to drop from Esther the Invincible as part of the Wheat/Slash questline in the Guns, Love and Tentacles DLC, but you can also get one by completing the Trial of Cunning on True Trial difficulty. If you've ever wanted to wield a sniper rifle loyal to its craft, then the Skullmasher is the one for you. It doesn't fire a single bullet, but 5 of them which tear through any critical spots and ricochet into nearby opponents. Not only is its single shot damage awfully high, enough to one-shot bosses, but its fire rate is phenomenal, allowing you to fire shot after shot without pause for your enemies to take breath. I find it best with a next to mags anointment to give it that elemental boost, and Amara can do that with infusion. It mashes skulls like Colonel Sanders mashes potatoes, but there's no special gravy here. It's no secret that a rapid bolt action combined with high damage and multiple projectiles makes a monster of a gun, and this one is incredibly well suited to Flak. Moving on to the Complex Root, a weapon made by Maliwan that belongs to the Bounty of Blood DLC, dropping from Lanny Dixon, who who you fight around here in Ashfall Peaks. A complex root is a number that has an imaginary part, which is found when taking the square root of a negative number. But hey, you don't need to be a mathematician to know that the square root of damage is more damage. The root has that coursing through its veins, firing rounds in 2 short bursts, which summon zigzagging lasers that explode at numerous intersections. All those explosions make for some cataclysmic levels of force, especially on Moe's, and those explosions become literally earth-shaking on an Rustler Zane with a splash anoint and anything else to boost splash damage and its radius. There's no doubt it's bugged, there's no way this gun was designed to do the things it does, but that's what makes it one of the most destructive weapons in the game, particularly for Zane when you're playing around with the Racer. If you can handle the constant explosions and can somehow avoid the almost guaranteed death on Moe's and sometimes for Zane, it's one of the most powerful weapons out there. Before number 1 is uncovered, let's mention some guns honourably. First up, the Wedding Invitation, a Jacob's weapon that can only come in fire and is awarded as part of the Valentine's Day event, which you can activate at any time from the main menu. It's awarded either by breaking loot hearts or completing the challenge of breaking 100 hearts. The Wedding Invitation is a sniper rifle with the call effect, returning bullets to your magazine on each critical hit. Combined with the increased damage you get naturally, landing criticals is made even better as the bullet explodes into a cloud of fire, dealing splash damage and ricocheting a cryo round at the nearest enemy. An accurate player can get a lot out of this weapon, never needing to reload and one-shotting enemy after enemy. Its constant fire damage gives it added flavour over some of the non-elemental Jacob sniper rifles, and its splash damage factor and free ammo is just a bonus. The next honourable mention I have for you is the Bird of Prey, yet another Jacob's weapon. This one belongs to the Fallen Heroes Vault card as part of the Director's Cut. The Bird of Prey not only ricochets a projectile to nearby enemies on critical hits, but also has a 33% chance to summon another from the sky, whether you land a crit or not. It's much more powerful than your typical ricocheting round, dealing 6 times the damage of whatever summoned it. Landing a crit and bringing forth that chirping projectile will have your enemies in a world of hurt, and one shot is easily capable of blowing apart tightly packed groups. The last honourable mention I have for you is the Krakatoa, an always incendiary sniper rifle that has an increased chance to drop from Tomb Ahead, who you fight around here in Electra City after completing the quest Proof of Wife. The Krakatoa is a weapon that will bring you back to Makeout Reef, the amber glow on the horizon, ash burning your eyes and the smell of charred coral. It must be charged before firing, and when ready, unleashes flaming rounds at a steady automatic pace. There was a time when this was the number 1 sniper rifle in the game, and as it stands, it's still good. Compared to the other fully automatic guns in its class, it's like a poor man's Gordon Ramsay. It's polite and Welsh, but that doesn't stop it from cooking up some damage. It's a well-rounded weapon that is particularly good against flash and doesn't chew through ammo too fast, although it still will. It's made better while mobbing thanks to the volcanoes it leaves in its wake, which, like my pet snail, don't really do much, but they're nice to look at. You can't really go wrong with it, and it's still going to mount health bars, but perhaps not as efficiently as some others. Number 1, we're here, we made it, and the title goes to the Sandhawk, a Mayhem 6+ weapon that is best farmed for by targeting Katagawa Jr. on top of Atlas HQ. The Sandhawk is an incredibly powerful sniper rifle that puts it all out there for everyone to see. It fires more projectiles than many shotguns, sitting at 7 per shot, and they burst from its barrel in deadly waves. The multiple pellets and its fire rate combine to make an absolute tank, with a DPS many weapons struggle to keep up with, especially considering it deals splash damage, although it is unable to trigger means of destruction on modes. However, there is one glaring thing holding it back, and that's its rapid ammo consumption. It's no surprise that firing that quickly and consuming 3 ammo per shot is enough to make you run dry fast, but that doesn't stop it from absolutely monstering bosses across all Vault Hunters. It mobs great regardless and can be done without the ammo issues on Moze or Zane with a Digiclone regen ammo anointment, and Flak and Amara can even try Terra Annoyance. Whatever way you look at it though, this gun demolishes all kinds of enemies as long as you have ammo to spare, and it's not going to randomly down you either. So that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned of the top 10 legendary sniper rifles in Borderlands 3. If you did, consider dropping a like or subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one.